which is that universal voting rights are a mistake.
Classy. Oh, nice, Matt Walsh. Guys, so I imagine, what, is he going to say women shouldn't vote? Is that what he's going to say? That's classy if he says that. Universal voting rights are a mistake. Hey guys, I need you to do me a favor. Help me fight the algorithm. Go ahead and hit like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon for new notifications. Thank you. Republican response to Taylor Swift. Let's see what they're saying. Will Taylor Swift swing the 2024 election? Matt Walsh, please let us know, because no one else can tell us but you.
I'm trying to emotionally recover today. My Baltimore Ravens choked again in the playoffs. They lost the conference championship game, which is
nice.
which is actually what I predicted, because I'm a great football prognosticator. I tweeted a prediction ahead of the game, and I said that the Chiefs would win 17-10. That's exactly what happened. Of course, like technically, what my tweet actually said is that the Ravens would win 38-14. But as I explained later, that was actually a typo. It was kind of an autocorrect sort of thing. I meant to say Chiefs 17-10, and so a bit of a miscommunication there. But anyway, the point is the Ravens lost it. And worst of all, that means that Groundhog Day will keep repeating, and we have 2 more weeks of Taylor Swift, God help us all. And a lot more than 2 weeks, actually. Just 2 weeks of the football season. The 2 weeks of this intersection of Taylor Swift and this unholy intersection of Taylor Swift and football. But then it'll go beyond that. If the Democrats have anything to say about it. As Forbes reports this morning, President Joe Biden's campaign is gearing up for November's general election by putting former President Donald Trump, the all but assured to be GOP nominee, in its crosshairs and planning a re-election bid dominated by abortion rights with the help of influencers and, it hopes, potentially Taylor Swift. According to the New York Times, the Biden campaign aims to make attacking Trump a central part of its re-election strategy. Oh, wow. Did that even need to be included, that line? The Biden campaign...
Wow, he actually said what I was about ready to say. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Biden campaign...
And Trump will make a big thing in his campaign attacking Biden. That's how they go.
And plans to attack their political opponent. It's an odd sort of innovative strategy they're going to try out this time around. We'll see. And attacking Trump of all people. I mean, we've never seen this before. I don't know. We've never seen Democrats attack Trump, so we'll have to see how this works out. Anyway, but they're going to bring in some people to help with this.
Okay, are we going to get to Taylor Swift? I'm starting to feel like I got clickbaited here.
And one of them is going to be, they hope, Taylor Swift. The Times.
Of course, Taylor Swift is a hugely influential artist. She is openly not a Republican, so they could probably get her support. So that's all pretty obvious.
Reports noting applicants to a social media role for the campaign were advised not to describe their Taylor Swift strategy, given how many suggestions there have already been within the campaign about how to garner her support. One of those ideas, which the Times noted, was a bit in jest, is even to send Biden to a stop on Swift's Eras tour. And whether they do that or not, which I don't even think that's in jest. I mean, they probably will do that or something like it. They want to recruit Taylor Swift. Now, you may be wondering...
Depends if there are times available and how, and if they think they need to. I mean, to be honest, Taylor Swift's already been encouraging people to go out and vote without him visiting her, so it may not be worth it. Who knows?
How much impact would a Taylor Swift endorsement actually have? Well...
That is the interesting question, because Taylor Swift fans kind of follow her, like, way more so. Like, yeah, like, if an artist I like endorses something I'm against, lots of times I will rethink my fandom if it's really bad. If it's not really bad, I'll just be like, oh, I disagree. But it does feel like Taylor Swift fans will kind of just follow her around, which is interesting. She does have a sway among them. And obviously Republicans are scared, which is why we even have a video like this existing.
According to the polls, anyway, the answer is a lot of impact. The Daily Mail reports today, quote, Taylor Swift could heavily influence the way that...
Okay, well, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with this. Like, Daily Mail is not the best source at all. Daily Mail should be bottom of the barrel sources, but instead we have stuff like OAN and fucking Bounding in the Comics and Breitbart, who are all way, way fucking worse than Daily Mail. Daily Mail is kind of like a pretty gossipy rag, really. But it's not the worst by any means.
That Americans vote in the presidential election, with a fifth of voters saying they're likely to back a candidate that she endorses. The pop star's stratospheric influence on popular culture may sway the race to the White House, especially as new Gen Z voters join the electorate this year. In a poll conducted by Redfield and Wilton Strategies for Newsweek, 18% of voters say they're more likely or significantly more likely to vote for a candidate endorsed by Taylor Swift. Her sway was more visible with voters under the age of 35.
That is actually wild, though. Assuming it's an accurate article, but a poll conducted by Redfield Wilton Strategies for Newsweek. So this is actually a Newsweek. So he's using Daily Mail as his source, but Daily Mail is using Newsweek as their source. So why didn't you just dig up the primary source, Matt? Fucking Daily Wire has a lot more money than I do. I understand you look up the primary source for this, but I'm going to assume that's probably correct because they're at least sourcing Newsweek on that one. 18% of voters say they're more likely or significantly more likely to vote for a candidate endorsed by Taylor Swift. That is insane. It's, wow, just 18% of voters. Jesus, yow.
No big surprise there. The election will see 8 million new voters in the U.S. electorate and a total of 41 million Gen Z voters. However, 17% said they would be less likely to vote for a candidate backed by Swift, which could bode badly for Democrat Joe Biden.
It depends. I bet you at this point, most of Taylor Swift's base is a Democrat. So that 17% is probably pretty red, and they probably aren't going to vote for Biden anyway. So it's probably a safe bet on that one.
Okay, now, some caveats here. First of all, the 18% figure has to be inaccurate. I mean, maybe this is just cope on my part. Maybe I'm saying this for my own sanity so that I can sleep easy at night. But there's no way 18% of Americans are going to tie their vote to a Taylor Swift endorsement. That's like 60 million people if you extrapolate out.
So this is the advantage of doing primary sources. So give me one moment. I'm going to dig up that Newsweek poll because he is bringing up an interesting question because that does seem really fucking high. So let's dig this up. Okay, I think we're on to something here. It didn't take long. So Newsweek, can Taylor Swift sway voting in the 2024 election? Taylor Swift is arguably the most famous person in America, and while she's largely avoided politics, her stratospheric rise to fame raises questions about whether an endorsement from the pop star could help decide the next president. Exclusive polling conducted by Newsweek by Renfield and Wilton Strategies found that 18% of voters say they're... Okay, yeah, we saw that. 17%. Can we see the actual numbers? We're getting some quotes. What the fuck? Okay, do I have to click on this? Can I search for the poll here at least? Is it gonna load? Oh my god. Can I look up your research? Okay, it looks like here we go. Taylor Swift. Nothing? Are we serious? No, that's not it. Cool. So can we not get information? Okay. So what we know is the survey had a sample size of 1,500 voters, was conducted on January 18th, and had a margin of error plus or minus 2.53%. All right, that is not very helpful. Not very helpful at all. Maybe this is why he cited Daily Mail, because that way it'd be the actual research would be a little buried, because it's not super helpful. Anyways, so yeah, I think it's all a little suspect because I'd like to have more data on it. Based on what I read, I guess maybe, I don't know. I mean, for God's sakes, it is enough for the Republicans to be freaking out. I mean, so what? One of the things that they've been doing is putting her in, they've been putting her in deepfake porn. Which is a wild thing. And it's like a lot of them are doing it now. And then let me show you one of the video titles I definitely wasn't going to watch because it's way too long. So, yeah. Here's fucking Kansas Owens. Why the graphic AI photos of Taylor Swift are a good thing. Just, Jesus Christ. These people are fucking mental.
And it just can't be that high. Again, for my own sanity, I cannot believe that it's that high. But what we do know is that the number...
Chuck, I agree so much. Jon Stewart coming back to Daily Show is going to be awesome. Plus, like, essentially, the reason he's coming back, one of his stipulations is that he has full control over, editorial control over the show. And what that means is, he can kind of do whatever story he wants. And that's what happened. He wanted to do a story that Apple didn't want to do. And that's why he lost that show. So he's coming back to the Daily Show, and it's going to be his show. And I'm excited to see that because he is fantastic. His delivery is amazing. It'll be great to have him back. John Oliver's good, too.
Number of Swift voters is not zero. Like, it's probably significantly above zero. And now, sure, you've got the 17% who say that they'll vote against Taylor Swift. But I'm not going to hang my hat on that. A certain portion of the electorate doesn't like Taylor Swift. I don't think anyone's going to be motivated to go out to the polls to vote against Taylor Swift's endorsement. Like on election day, you look at the polling data, the exit polls. I don't think anyone's going to say, yeah, I'm just here to vote against Taylor Swift. That's all I care about. That's probably not going to happen. I think it is more likely that you'll have, especially young voters, especially young female voters, who are motivated in large part to go out to the polls because Taylor Swift told them to and told them what to do when they get there. So what do we make of that? Well, I think obviously it's just more confirmation of the point that I've been making forever. A point that has been proven now it's proven very unpopular, but it's also been confirmed time and time again, and I think more people are coming around to it, which is that universal voting rights are a mistake.
Classy. Oh, nice, Matt Walsh. Guys, so I imagine, what, is he going to say women shouldn't vote? Is that what he's going to say? That's classy if he says that. Universal voting rights are a mistake. Like, what are you saying we should have instead of universal voting rights? Let's see.
Now, it's still an unpopular view. Not surprisingly. And I'm not saying it's a good political strategy to talk about this, but I'm not a politician. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying what is... The only thing I'm interested in is just saying what happens to be true and let the chips fall where they may. So universal voting rights, obviously a mistake. And like, maybe right now we can, but eventually we do have to have this conversation because if we don't, it's just the end of the country. So like we can avoid having an awkward...
You know what could be the end of the country? Donald Trump getting reelected. Just saying.
Discussion about voting rights and what they really should be. And that's fine. We can keep avoiding it, but then it'll just be the end of the country's just going to be over. So those are the choices that we have. There's a reason why
does he only have a high school diploma? Yeah, maybe he's not qualified to vote. That is a good point to bring up.
People who established this country never intended for it to work this way. Not everybody should have an equal say in how the country is run. Not everyone is fit to have a say. The sorts of people...
So real quick qualifier. If there's ever video of you talking in a car about how underage girls should get married, you should lose your voting rights. I think that's a fair little caveat to put on voting rights right there.
People who would be persuaded to vote because Taylor Swift said so don't deserve to have voting rights.
I like mine better.
Obviously. And I don't say that ironically or as a joke or whatever, maybe as some people do. I really mean it. I mean, the idea that we have some sort of sacred obligation, which has been written in the heavens somewhere, to allow the dumbest morons on earth to vote our country into extinction.
I agree, Matt Walsh. You like, the dumbest morons on earth really shouldn't vote like you. Like, yeah. You are, like, what is this take? Like, so, like, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you're insanely dumb? I don't know. I think some of the shit you say, Matt Walsh, is dumber than anything I've ever heard from a Taylor Swift fan. Listen, I'll be blunt. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift's music. She has, like, one song that I think is decent. And everything else I could kind of live without. I don't dislike her stuff, but it's not on rotation for me. But, yeah, this idea that, oh, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you shouldn't vote. Yeah, I don't know. Get fucked.
I mean, that idea is, it's ludicrous. It's suicidal. It's a suicidally stupid idea. There's a reason why, if you go back through history, you're really not going to find any intelligent person. Go back thousands of years, right, to the dawn of democracy.
I know he's gonna say you're not gonna find any intelligent person who sits in their car and records videos about how they're okay with underage women having sex and getting married. Right? That's what he's gonna talk about, right?
You're not gonna find any intelligent person who thought that democracy should work like this. Nobody thought that.
Well, true. They also probably didn't think a whole bunch of right-wing fucking grifters would be able to influence as many people as you guys have. And now you guys are probably shitting bricks because you realize Taylor Swift, one fucking person, might be able to knock all your influence out. Like, all of it. Like, you have, like, it has to be billions of dollars being pumped into shit like The Blaze and Daily Wire and all that shit. Just pumping out right-wing, bigoted misinformation propaganda, and Taylor Swift could just say a couple words and just eliminate that, and it means nothing, which honestly sounds pretty fucking badass right there.
Yes. And I'm not saying that now because I'm mad about Taylor Swift. You all know I've been saying this for years and years and years. And if Taylor Swift...
Yeah, regular watchers of Matt Walsh know that. God, if anybody out there is seriously watching Matt Walsh and, like, takes him seriously, just, again, you gotta rethink your life. This guy is just a piece of shit.
If tips an election, which she very well may, it will just be the final confirmation of my point. Are you sure?
I would trust somebody who's a Taylor Swift fan who respects her opinion over somebody who watches Daily Wire in a heartbeat. Just saying.
Struggling with back taxes or unfiled returns this year, the IRS is escalating collections by adding 20,000 new agents.
It's a commercial, isn't it?
The IRS has kicked off 2024 for $1 billion in back taxes to pay, or you're on a fixed income tax, or you contact call 1-800-245 in how the country is run. So the fact is very simple here. Not everybody is fit to have a say.
Okay, so real quick, since he was just doing commercial on taxes, it gave me a reminder. Guys, tax season is pretty much here. A lot of you probably have your W-2s. I'm still waiting for Google to give me my 1099 because Google sucks at getting those out. But anyways, one thing I highly recommend when you are doing federal taxes, look for a website that the government offers as free. So go to irs.gov and look for one of the programs that is linked through there and only access it through that link. The government will make deals with with a lot of these taxing websites just to get people on their site, and it will be done for free, but pretty much only if you do it through irs.gov. So when you do your taxes, do it through irs.gov, follow one of the links, and you will be able to file federal taxes at least so much easier, and it will be free. Don't just go to like H&R Block or whatever website, TurboTax. Don't just go there. Follow the link through irs.gov. And back to Matt Walsh. That was just a little interlude because he was pitching for some probably con artist tax thing.
And how the country is run and who its leaders are. Obviously, not everybody is fit. And the way that you know that is that you wouldn't run anything else like this, right? Would you? You wouldn't want anything else to be run like this. A restaurant.
Like a whole bunch of online or on TV grifters lying and telling people lies to get them to vote a certain way. Yeah, you wouldn't want to run that way. I'm kind of okay with the Taylor Swift thing, though.
Isn't going to take a poll of the public every month and then decide on what its menu is going to be based on what a majority of people say they want. And because when you go to a nice restaurant,
actually, lots of menus will be like that. If something's not requested a lot, it'll be eliminated depending on what is available. Like, if it's something that could be made easily off to the side, then they might leave it on there. But yeah, if there's something that takes resources and not a lot of people are ordering it, then yeah, they will remove it off the menu. The fuck point is that, Matt?
John, you don't want a meal that's decided, much less
No, that's not what you said. You said, oh my God, Jesus Christ. You implied that somehow, like, everything should be on the menu. And yeah, no, they'll take unpopular options off the menu. They're not just gonna, like, and honestly, they might even, like, if Taylor Swift goes to their restaurant and has a meal she likes, they might even have the Taylor Swift selection. Shit. It'll just be an option. It's just like, Taylor Swift, when she tells people to vote for Biden, that doesn't mean they have to, Matt. The fuck? Like, if the menu is only the most popular item, then they have to choose that. That's not what's going on. Like, this analogy makes no goddamn sense.
Paired based on a Democratic vote? Nobody does. Like, the Democratic restaurant is not one that anyone would go to. Right? And this is the case in all areas of life. All areas. I mean, if I take my car to the mechanic, I don't want him to conduct a random poll of the people sitting in the waiting room to see what fixes they should make to my engine, because...
What the fuck does that have to do with Taylor Swift? Dude, like, you're so far off the reservation. You're not even making a point anymore.
It's like... It's they're not going to arrive at the right conclusion just because more people said it. You know, I don't want the mechanic to come in and say, well, here's what we're doing with the engine. The 15 people, they all agreed. Well, who are the 15 people? Why would...
Well, again, this is a weird thing. So let's say, yeah, taking a poll of the random people in the waiting room to figure out what's wrong with your engine is dumb. But let's say they have 15 mechanics there. They all looked at your engine and they all came to a conclusion that this is what's right. This is what's wrong. That's probably pretty fucking reliable, Matt. So, this is so dumb.
Would they know anything about this? Why should I trust what they're saying? Why would they have a say in this? You wouldn't go to a mechanic that worked that way. You wouldn't go to a doctor that worked that way. Nothing in life works this way, or should work this way. My own home doesn't work like this, and hopefully yours doesn't either. When I make a decision, I don't poll my kids and give them all equal weight in the decision.
The fuck? Why is this all of a sudden, like... I don't even understand where this is coming from. Like, this is an objection to Taylor Swift possibly endorsing somebody and them voting for that person. It's not about taking choices away and just only have the most... Like, I guess you could argue that's kind of what what is it? Goddamn, I'm brain farting. The primaries. That's probably what the primaries is for. It's narrowing down your choices to the most popular picks, and then you have to choose between the most popular picks. It's kind of what the primaries are doing, but not the general. The fuck?
Vision. That's a recipe for dysfunction. And worse. So, In no area of life do any of us want important decisions to be made based on the majority consensus of a bunch of people who are not remotely qualified to be involved in the first.
Oh, so this is his whole argument against voting. I gotcha. Okay, so it's against voting. So people who aren't qualified, like people who watch Daily Wire shit and take it serious, those people aren't qualified. I could live with that, Matt Walsh. I mean, I think I'm kind of fine with open voting, but like if you want to add that caveat, then okay.
First place, and in every other area we all agree on that, and yet our entire country itself is run like that, which is again something that every great thinker since the dawn of democracy has seen. That like it just can't work. That you can't do it like that. There are different ways of doing it. There are different ways of deciding.
Well, I mean, that's true. There were limits on voting. Like, black people couldn't vote. Women couldn't vote. Is that what you're proposing, Matt Walsh? We just go, like, it used to be just kind of like the rich landowners could vote. Like, is that what you're proposing, Matt Walsh? Just rich people can vote? Because that will definitely result in the best outcomes, for sure. Logical take, dude.
I think who gets to vote and who doesn't. But no one thought everybody. It was like, obviously not everyone can vote. That's crazy. Why? Well, because you've got a bunch of morons who will actually go vote based on what Taylor Swift tells them to do.
Wow. Unlike the bunch of morons who will vote based on what you tell them to do, Matt Walsh. Just throwing that out there.
You can't allow that. If you value your country and the future of your nation that you are living in and that your family and your children live in, you can't just allow that. And the only argument for it is, yeah, but it's what they want. Who gives a damn what they want? Is that what we're doing? Just going to watch the collapse and suicide of our country because, well, that's what a lot of people wanted. Okay, well.
Okay, so listen, I have my complaints of Biden, but if you think another 4 years of Biden is going to result in the collapse of the fucking country? No. I mean, we actually have evidence that, like, 4 years more of Trump could result in something like that. But, like, 4 years of Biden? No. No, I mean, Biden kind of sucks. But you know what? He does have, he's been good with labor unions, except for the rail union. That was bullshit. He does have his advantages. And pretty much across the board, he's better than Trump. He's got some bad takes. I'm not going to argue that. He's not amazing, but he's pretty much better than Trump across the board. So
it's like if you're on a train and there's a majority vote on the train that they want it to go over a cliff. Are you going to sit there like, well, okay, well, that's what everybody wants. I guess. Well, all right then. I wouldn't want to infringe on the democratic rights of everybody else. Yeah, I got my kids here, but.
So you do realize that the people who would be voting for the train to go over the cliff, that's like Trump voters, right? That's not Biden voters. Like Biden is like the most like just kind of standard politician you could get. Trump's the insane one that'll drive us over the cliff. Like, are you even paying attention?
But we'll just go over the cliff, sure. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's for democracy, after all. It's crazy. And eventually we need to be able to talk about this. We just do. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening.
Yeah, classy. Okay, that was kind of a nowhere insane rant video about how people shouldn't vote. Taylor Swift fans shouldn't be allowed to vote, guys. That's a classy take, Matt Walsh. I think if we're going to start eliminating voter rights, I think Matt Walsh fans should be first on the list. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.